everybody, it's Becky. I'm back today with a video sharing with you a magazine that I found for my girls. And I remember when I was growing up, I used to love getting like the teen girl magazines and all the different girls in the books and how pretty they were. And I loved trying out different hairstyles, even though I had like the worst hair ever. I never was able to pull off any of those things, but I loved looking at all the girl magazines back then, the teen magazines. I think, what was it called? Teen Beat or Teen Bop or something like that. I used to like to get, every once in a while we'd go to the grocery and pick it up off the newsstand. And I loved having magazines that were for girls my age. And I knew I wanted something like that for my girls, but it's really hard to find a magazine this day and age that, I said this day and age like I'm an old lady. It's hard to find magazines that maybe are for my girls' age groups, but they're not necessarily appropriate. Sometimes it's the content, as far as what is being written on the covers or in the magazine. Sometimes it's just the pictures. I really wanted to find a magazine for them that was more than just fluff and what you're wearing and what other people are wearing and, you know, boys, talking about boys and how to get your crush to like you back and just goofy stuff like that that I didn't really think was necessary probably ever, but especially at this age with 6 years old and almost 12 years old. It's just really not necessary. And so I set out to find a magazine for them that I wouldn't say I necessarily was determined that it'd be a Christian magazine, but I pretty much knew that if it was going to have a book, if it was going to be a magazine that focused on maybe your inner beauty and your values, it probably was going to have to be a Christian-based magazine. And so it just so happened that I found one that I think is a really great option, and it's nice because they have two different versions. They have a version for younger girls and a version for older girls. So both of my girls are able to get a subscription from the same company, but for a magazine that's appropriate for their age group. So the first one is Sparkle Magazine. I have a couple here, and I'll after I get done talking about it, I will show you a couple of the pages closer so you can see closer up. But the first one is Sparkle Magazine. You can opt to get a 6-month subscription or a 12-month subscription, which I like because you can try it for 6 months, see how they like it, see if it's the right age for them. And then if you like it, you can know that next time you can get a 12-month subscription. The Sparkle Magazine is, I would say, centered around a girl no younger than 5, but really starting around 6, 7, maybe 8 years old, I think would probably be better suited for Sparkle Magazine. And what I like about the one that's for younger girls, it does have some articles that, like for my daughter, she can't read all this on her own. So there's articles that I can read to her. And then there's some questions that can get her thinking. We can do it together. If you do have a girl that's older and can read independently, she could definitely read the story on her own. And there's some questions at the end kind of asking about what you read in the story. But the stories are all really about virtues and listening skills and being a good person on the inside and being a good daughter, sister, friend, all that stuff. And then just fun things like here's a sound scavenger hunt and teaching you to kind of listen and focus on what's going on around you. A life lesson about God and talking about the Israelites, and then there's questions at the end here. And there's some activities, which we did a couple of them with the snowflake and the snowman stack. And then there's some jokes at the end. For my oldest daughter, and she really, I think, hits, this one's quite a bit thicker. There's quite a few more articles and things in the Shine Brightly magazine. This is the January edition, but there's it's a little bit thicker than the Sparkle magazine, not a whole lot. But there are some more stories, a little bit more reading than an older girl would like to do. They've got some DIY crafts, how to style a winter scarf, so just things that girls kind of preteen age, maybe 9 to 12, 13, are going to be interested in. So they're interested in fashion and technology and things like that. There's a 1-year subscription or a 2-year subscription. A 1-year has 9 issues and a 2-year has 18 issues. So I really like these. I think it's a good option to, I don't want to say you can't have a normal life when you're a Christian, but honestly, it's a little bit harder to have a normal childhood if you're trying to really make sure you make good choices about what your children watch and what they listen to and what they read. And that's not to say they're not going to hear bad things and see bad things sometimes, and they do. I mean, it's part of life. You go out to the store and people are cussing around you, or you go to the grocery store and the magazines have, you know, things on the cover that are not necessarily appropriate. But not to make them live in a bubble, to give them as many experiences and as many things as I can that are still going to give them as much of a normal childhood as possible, while still making sure I keep it as clean as I can and as age appropriate as I can. And if I'm able to throw some Bible lessons and stories about the people in the Bible times in there, that's great, and that's a great thing for me. I was really excited to find this magazine and to share it with you guys in case you've had maybe the same issue I have. Having these magazines has been really fun. The activities are really nice, age appropriate depending on which magazine you get. And then also the stories, depending on which magazine you're in, they're age appropriate. They're written for a child of that age group to understand to talk about being beautiful on the inside and looking for the good in others and being the best you that you can be. And that really ultimately is what these magazines are about. Having fun, but being the best version of yourself that you can be, living your life through God and being a good Christian. It makes it fun, but it really still is instilling those values in them all at the same time. So it's a great option. So I'm gonna hop off here and show you a couple close-ups of some of the pages in both magazines so you can see more closely what they look like and kind of what you can expect from each magazine. So this was the December 2015 issue of Sparkle magazine, which is for the younger girls. This is just fun ways to celebrate Jesus' birthday. You have like a little maze here. There's a little Bible verse is kind of incorporated like this one. It says, "Where's the cake?" There are a lot of places in the Bible where people ate to celebrate. And check out Luke chapter 15, verses 22 through 24. So it gets them engaged, has them looking at the Bible, which of course maybe at the younger ages of this you'd have to help them. Again, another story, a little activity here at the bottom. Talks about kids in other countries and things like that, different games to play. How to make snowflake soap. So there's some still craft and DIY activities in the younger kids magazine. They're just more age appropriate and things that maybe sometimes you would have to help them out with. And then we have a life lesson, which is in every magazine, and then a little activity and a coloring page, and then some questions at the end. And here we have Christmas Sodoku. Find the differences in the bows. The Shine Brightly magazine, which I would say is from 8 to probably 12 or 13. A little bit thicker, you get a little bit more stories. It's got a calendar in the front, which is nice, talking about the different holidays, Bible verses and things like that, which I like how they mix all that in. My oldest daughter really likes keeping her own calendar, so that's fun. Of course, you have a story here, like a fictional story. I like how it's got stories featuring different girls who have done good things in their communities and their lives and ways to help out. So the activity where you make your own earbud case, which is totally something she would like to do. The Ask Annie series, which is really nice because young girls can write in and ask questions that they have. They'll get a good answer, and then a lot of times they will reference Bible verses. They can look up and read more about their problem that they're having in the Bible. Here's the winter scarf style guide. So a lot more reading and things that an older girl is going to like. A life lesson for the older girls as well, with some questions and things to think about. I really like that. I will have a link for the magazine in the description box below, so you can check out more information about how to sign up and the cost of the subscription and all that good stuff. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.